this is Rin. So they're a technical community builder at Kamunda, multiply neurodivergent, non-binary and disabled. And yes, so please follow Rin on Twitter. There they go. So most autistic adults would really like society to move beyond autism awareness to acceptance and inclusion. And that's a quote from Lundmüller and Paslova, who is a PhD at SHRM-SCP. And that is so true. Like, awareness could be like, be scared of those people, right? So flex those skills. You're awesome. Tell the world. So what are you good at? So these are some things that a lot of neurodivergent people are good at. Pattern analysis, planning and scoping projects, communication, documentation, how-to guides, walkthroughs, policy, etc. Highlighting your skills can be difficult, but it's worth it. So what can support look like? So from teammates, understanding of how you work best when collaborating on projects, an effort to communicate in the form that works best for you, whether that's email or Slack or some other medium, flexibility with non-crucial deadlines, clear calls to action when a response is needed, and then from management, learning how to manage and work with neurodivergent employees effectively, educating yourself in the ways that neurodivergence presents in the workplace, understanding that many neurodivergent individuals have had past employment trauma. Oh boy, that's a big one, that's for sure. Like, I'm a very lucky neurodivergent person who happens to have like a really good paying job with Hack the Box now. The company respects me a lot. They know about my ADHD and my autism, but I'm always terrified that I could be fired any moment. And then I learned that no, they're happy with me. They love me. They want to keep me there. But unfortunately, we have a lot of that trauma. We're not all lucky to have only had good employers. And even if we do have a good employer and a good salary, that trauma still affects us. And then communicating with your employee about how you can support them. 85% of neurodivergent college graduates are under or unemployed. So unemployed means you don't have any paid job. Underemployed could be, for instance, someone with an accounting degree who works at McDonald's, or someone with an accounting degree, but they only get to work as an accountant for 5 hours a week. So they're not, and if they're paid by the hour, they're not making enough money to support themselves. So that's what underemployment means. Unemployment is pretty bad too. Yeah, look at all this untapped potential that the job market is not working well with. So how your skills overlap. So we've got pattern recognition, which is useful for threat analysis, thinking outside the box. Yes, that's very useful for pen testing. In fact, you know, a little pitch for my employer and one of our sponsors. Think outside the box is our corporate slogan at Hack the Box. So there you go. Attention to detail. So documentation of CVEs, improved incident reporting, and analytical thinking, which is useful for threat modeling and projections. When our industry employs neurodivergent people, they benefit from our skills and our talents a lot. Tips for interviewing. So it's important to ask questions. This is for the party that's doing the interview, not the interview subject. What accommodations, maybe this is for the interview subject too. What accommodations do you have in place for neurodivergent individuals? How have you designed a flexible and supportive workplace? Okay, this is the interview subject then. Seriously, ask the toughest questions. Ask about psychological safety. Are you hiring for culture fit or celebrating culture add? These are two different things. Yeah, unfortunately, the culture fit excuse is often used to keep marginalized people out of the workforce. So being upfront. So I am neurodivergent and I struggle with some aspects of communication. I ask that you hold space for me during this interview process. Fact. Neurodivergence is unique to you. You are not merely to be tolerated at work. You deserve respect and accommodation. Exactly. Okay, so Kiran is thanking us for their presentation. I think you should contact them at their Twitter account, which is Kiran, Kiran _ Oliver, Oliver. I think at user is probably a placeholder there. So, all right. If Kiran is in the Twitch chat, I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen now. So, Chloe, is Kiran in the Twitch chat? Maybe they can answer some questions.